heard stories about innocent people that have been pressured into confessing to crimes that they didn't commit, only to be exonerated years later. I can't tell you how many times someone has come into my office with a criminal case, only to find that their position has been substantially weakened by statements that they made to the police before, during, or after their arrest. Now, most people are familiar with the rights that they have during police questioning, but very few people exercise those rights, either because they don't understand what they mean or because they're intimidated at the time of questioning. The rights I'm referring to typically go something like this. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the court. Those rights are called the Miranda Warnings because they're taken from the Supreme Court case Miranda versus Arizona. And if you've ever watched television, I'm sure you've heard those rights being read to a suspect by the detective on a crime drama as he slaps the cuffs on the suspect. But the reading of the rights is not a magical spell that places a person under arrest. A person can be lawfully arrested and the police officer may never read them their rights. And the fact that a police officer does not read a person their rights does not invalidate the arrest. However, the moment a person is placed under arrest, they have all of those rights that are discussed in the Miranda Warnings. They have the right to remain silent and they have the right to an attorney. And what I want to do today is just break those rights down very quickly, let you know where they come from, what they mean, and why you should always be ready to exercise them. So, where do they come from? The Miranda Warnings come from the Constitution of the United States, the Fifth and the Sixth Amendments specifically. The Fifth Amendment prohibits a person from being compelled to be a witness against himself, and the Sixth Amendment entitles a person to the right to counsel, an attorney. So if you put both of those amendments together, you get the language that's used in the rights that are commonly read to people when they're placed under arrest. So what does that exactly mean? You have the right to remain silent. It means that's exactly what you should do. Why should you do that? Because if you give up your right to remain silent, anything that you say can and will be used against you. It doesn't say that it might be used against you. It doesn't say that it will be used to exonerate you. It doesn't say that it will be used to corroborate your alibi. It doesn't say that it's going to be used to help you go home. It says that it's going to be used against you in a court of law. So if you find yourself in a position where the police are reading you your rights, there is most likely nothing that you can say to improve your position. It's better for you to remain silent. Now, that being said, if you do feel compelled to speak and you do feel compelled to profess your innocence, you also have the right to an attorney, and you should have an attorney present. Even if you can't afford one, the police or the court has to provide you with an attorney. So, if you're going to answer a question while you're in police custody, shouldn't you have an attorney? Of course you should. I can't count how many times we've heard about people who have confessed to crimes they didn't commit or who gave statements related to crimes that they didn't commit, all because they didn't know, one, that they had the right to remain silent, and they didn't know that they had the right to an attorney, probably because they couldn't afford an attorney. But the reality of the situation is that doesn't matter. If you request an attorney, you will be provided with one. In the state of New York, the minute a person asks for an attorney, police questioning must stop until an attorney is present. Now, I'm not telling anyone what they should do, but I can tell you that if I ever found myself in a position where the police were reading me my rights, I would not say anything. And if I did say anything, I would ask for an attorney. That's what I tell my clients to do, and that's what I would do. So, please like and subscribe.